Hey there, folks. You're watching Job. That Christian show. It's Josh. I'm coming to you from my bedroom in the new apartment that me and Kristen moved into with Corey and Brittany and Mikey. Here in beautiful Woonsocket. I know looks kind of short, but that's actually the long wall. Well, no, not really. Of the four walls, it's the... I don't know. Anyway. I don't have my iPhone, so I can't read you anything funky and cool. I have Kristen's iPhone. We traded so I could use her Wi-Fi to do stuff. Whatever. Anyway, praise God, we got an apartment. Yeah.
He's got a peacock, so he said he had to go to work. I know what he wanted to do while he was...
I know what he said, but I know what he wanted to do.
All right, well, you know.
He's off. Hey there, so I'm sitting here at the Emerald Square Mall waiting for Kristen to get out of work. Oh, that really stings. I don't know if you heard that. And here I've got for you is Job chapter 39. Do you know when the mountain goats give birth? Do you watch when the doe bears her fawn? Do you count the months till they bear? Do you know the time they give birth? They crouch down and bring forth their young. Their labor pains are ended. Their young thrive and grow strong in the wild. They leave and do not return. Who let the wild donkey go free? Who untied his ropes? I gave him the wasteland as his home. The salt flats are his habitat. He laughs at the commotion in the town. He does not hear a driver's shout. He ranges the hills for his pasture and searches for any green thing. Will the wild ox consent to serve you? Will he stay by your manger at night? Can you hold him down? Can you hold him to the furrow with a harness? Will he till the valleys behind you? Will you rely on him for his great strength? Will you leave your heavy work to him? Can you trust him to bring in your grain and gather it to your threshing floor? The wings of the ostrich flap joyfully, but they cannot compare with the pinions and feathers of the stork. She lays her eggs on the ground and lets them warm in the sand, unmindfully that a foot may crush them, that some wild animal may trample them. She treats her young harshly, as if they were not hers. She cares not that her labor was in vain. For God did not endow her with wisdom, or give her a share of good sense, yet when she spreads her feathers to run, she laughs at horse and rider. Do you give the horse his strength, or clothe his neck with a flowing mane? Do you make him leap like a locust, striking terror with his proud snorting? He paws fiercely, rejoicing in his strength, and charges into the fray. He laughs at fear, afraid of nothing. He does not shy away from the sword. The quiver rattles against his side, along with the flashing spear and lance. In frenzied excitement he eats up the ground. He cannot stand still when the trumpet sounds. At the blast of the trumpet he snorts, "Aha!" He catches the scent of battle from afar, the shout of commanders and the battle cry. Does the hawk take flight by your wisdom and spread his wings toward the south? Does the eagle soar at your command and build his nest on high? He dwells on a cliff and stays there at night. A rocky crag is his stronghold. From there he seeks out his food, his eyes detect it from afar. His young ones feast on blood, and where the slain are, there is he. Job 39. Hey, so wasn't having Kristen read the Bible chapter just now really fun? It was like a great change of pace, so you didn't have to look at my ugly face. And I want to get 3D animation software, but I got to get a stronger Mac to run it, because from what I'm reading, this one won't do it. Oh, I can't even really see us. So here's my prayer journal until I get a repeat. I can't. I have to add stuff to the prayer journal before I otherwise it'll be the same thing I read yesterday. So, it's the random function is only truly random if you keep adding stuff to it. So that's what I got to do.
Slavery. Take what you learned about yourself and how much God loves you home. And here comes the candles. If we can turn that.
Hey there, folks. It's Josh, and you're watching That Christian Show. And here is Proverbs chapter 13. A wise son heeds his father's instruction, but a mocker does not listen to rebuke. From the fruit of his lips, a man enjoys good things, but the unfaithful have a craving for violence. He who guards his lips guards his life, but he who speaks rashly will come to ruin. The sluggard craves and gets nothing, but the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied. The righteous hate what is false, but the wicked bring shame and disgrace. Righteousness guards the man of integrity, but wickedness overthrows the sinner. One man pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another pretends to be poor, yet has great wealth. A man's riches may ransom his life, but a poor man hears no threat. The light of the righteous shines brightly, but the lamp of the wicked is snuffed out. Pride only breeds quarrels, but wisdom is found in those who take advice. Dishonest money dwindles away, but he who gathers money little by little makes it grow. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. He who scorns instruction will pay for it, but he who respects a command is rewarded. The teaching of the wise is a fountain of life, turning a man from the snares of death. Good understanding wins favor, but the way of the faithful is hard. Every prudent man acts out of knowledge, but a fool exposes his folly. A wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a trustworthy envoy brings healing. He who ignores discipline comes to poverty and shame, but whoever heeds correction is honored. A longing fulfilled is sweet to the soul, but fools detest turning from evil. He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm. Misfortune pursues the sinner, but prosperity is the reward of the righteous. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. A poor man's field may produce abundant food, but injustice sweeps it away. He who spares the rod hates his son, but he who loves him is careful to discipline him. The righteous eat to their heart's content, but the stomach of the wicked goes hungry. And that was Proverbs chapter 13 from the Blue Letter Bible application. Hey there, so for Pray today, for That Christian Show, it's March 28, 2012, and the country you're praying for today is Cuba. Pray for ministry to non-believers who make up more than 50% of the Cuban population. Some info about Cuba. Cuba stands as one of the greatest champions of communism. Fidel Castro came to power in 1959, threatening Cubans with socialism or death. In February 2008, as his health declined, President Fidel Castro turned power over to his brother Raul Castro. Observers hoped the change in leadership would bring more openness, but some Cuban Christians say it has gotten worse. Category: restricted nation. Religion: Christian 46%, non-religious 35%. Ideology: communism. Head of state: President Felipe Calderon. In the 1960s, Castro promised to rid the country of religion within 10 years. 48 years later, there are 8 times more Christians than before. Out of the population of 11 million, nearly 1 million are believers. Strict regulations against house churches went into effect in September 2005, prohibiting a church from being located within 1.25 miles of another of the same denomination, and restricting meetings to 3 per week. Other regulations require building permits for constructing new churches, and these permits are never granted. Christians circumvent these rules by building churches without walls. In 2009, 30 pastors were arrested in Santa Cruz del Sur, Camagüey, for planning a convention for 200 other pastors. Pastor Gude Perez has been in prison since May 2008 on charges of human trafficking. Most people believe, however, that Pastor Perez is being targeted for his role in a fast-growing Christian organization. The prosecution accused the pastor of counter-revolutionary conduct and attitudes and illicit economic activity. He faces a 7-year prison sentence.
unlocked the flight deck door.
When he was attempting to gain access back into the cockpit, he was now in a complete uncontrolled near rage, quite frankly.
Ranting about a bomb in Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan.
Just out of his mind and screaming and saying to the passengers, say your prayers.
And that's it. Like this. See? Read that, and then read that. I don't know what you did with the Bible.
Uh-oh. Oh, right here. I could just start?
Yeah.
Hey, folks, this is Kristen, and you're watching That Christian Show. Here is your daily Bible chapter. Proverbs, chapter 19.
Why'd you do... Why... What are you... Okay.
Better a poor man whose walk is blameless than a fool whose lips are perverse. It is not good to have zeal without knowledge, nor to be hasty and miss the way. A man's own folly ruins his life, yet his heart rages against the Lord. Wealth brings many friends, but a poor man's friend deserts him. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who pours out lies will not go free. Many curry favor with a ruler, and everyone is the friend of a man who gives gifts. A poor man is shunned by all his relatives. How much more do his friends avoid him? Though he pursues them with pleading, they are nowhere to be found. He who gets wisdom loves his own soul. He who cherishes understanding prospers. Very true. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who pours out lies will perish. It is not fitting for a fool to live in luxury. How much worse for a slave to rule over princes. A man's wisdom gives him patience. It is his glory to overlook an offense. A king's rage is like the roar of a lion, but his favor is like dew on the grass. A foolish son is his father's ruin, and a quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping. Houses and wealth are inherited from parents, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. That's very nice. You should remember that, honey. Laziness brings on deep sleep, and the shiftless man goes hungry. He who obeys instruction guards his life, but he who is contemptuous of his ways will die. He who is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward him for what he has done. Discipline your son, for in that there is hope, and do not be a willing party to his death. A hot-tempered man must pay the penalty. If you rescue him, you will have to do it again. Listen to advice and accept instruction, and in the end you will be wise. Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. What a man desires is unfailing love. Better to be poor than a liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life, than one rests content, untouched by trouble. The sluggard buries his head in the dish. He will not even bring it back to the mouth. Flog a mocker, and the simple will learn prudence. Rebuke a discerning man, and he will gain knowledge. He who robs his father and drives out his mother is a son who brings shame and disgrace. Stop listening to instruction, my son, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. A corrupt witness mocks at justice, and the mouth of the wicked gulps down evil. Penalties are prepared for mockers, and beatings for the backs of fools. The end. It was nice talking to you today. Bye-bye.